Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 5 of Timeliner, my progression-locked Ironman series, where I'll be exploring the world of Runescape, one game update at a time, only with the gear and skills available up until this point. We did it! 4 episodes later, we finished the content of the first year of Runescape. We started by gathering eggs and milk, and finished with slaying a dragon. While comparatively these quests were all on the simpler side, it had a wide variety of gathering, fighting, and puzzle solving, mixed with the often whimsical humor that I like so much about RuneScape. Of the original 17 quests, we did complete 16, only missing Black Knight's Fortress, which was changed to Death of Chivalry and will be tackled in 2013. Aside from changes to combat updates, only 6 quests remained as is. The rest had some smaller changes, like Hook's Assistant with dedicated items, to full replacements like Princely Rescue being split into 2 new quests to set up a very long quest chain. These changes will get smaller and smaller as we progress further, but overall the mood of the quests have been faithful to the original ones, I feel. But quests are not the only things that changed. The world map was expanded a lot, and also the selection of skills. Starting with only 12, we've gained 2 more in the form of crafting and fishing. While our highest skill is just level 52 with fishing, back then 4 skills were actually maxed within the first year already. Woodcutting, just shy of 8 months after release, was the first to see a player reach level 99. Sick grind. And it was not to be rewarded with a fancy skill cape for another 5 years. While I won't grind out every skill cape at that point, my goal is to achieve at least one of them. Speaking of skills, we actually get a new one today. And by today, I of course mean the 27th of February 2002. 5 months have passed since the last content update with Dragon Slayer. And on this day, RuneScape received a pay-to-play version. Of course, I paid as was custom back then by mailing them some cash. A wild time. A swift delivery of the postman later, beyond this gate, north of Falador, we get access to the first members-only area of RuneScape. Taverley. Please ignore that this is now also a free-to-play area and join me in pretending as so. And for the very first quest of the year, we get a new skill. Druidic Ritual gets us Herblore, or Herblore, as it was called for quite a while.
What brings you to our holy monument? I sense the hand of Guthix in your arrival. Maybe you can help me with something.
Of course we can do that, but first let's hear a bit more about Guthix.
Guthix is the oldest and most powerful god in Gielinor. His existence is vital to this world. He is the god of balance and nature.
Alright. And you are?
I am the druid Kakumix. Kakumix. The emphasis is on the Q and the me. I can't understand how so many people get that wrong.
Alright, Cake Mix, let's get to business.
I have a worthwhile quest for you, actually.
I've got some problems with trolls, spreading chaos and disorder, and need Guthix to bring balance to the force, or something like that. A small ritual should do the trick. And we need to support one of our alchemists, Senfew, to make a potion for that. He should be in Taverley just around the corner.
What can I do for you, young'un?
Well, I'm here to help you, old one.
I've got a list of things I need you to retrieve for the potion.
He tells us how to get all of the items, but first we need to stock up on the nearest bank in Falador. Some coins in the fishing rod, a chisel from the nearby general store, and we're good to go. First, we fish up a stonefish, using coin as a bait, and then chisel some scales off of it. And some wormwood is just running around, which we can simply pick up. Lastly, we head into a nearby cave to search for some living water. Never been in here before, must be a new area. In fact, this quest is a bit updated. Originally, you'd have to collect meats from 4 different animals to start a ritual to cleanse a stone circle that had been corrupted by dark wizards. Ah, that looks like a good water source. This was the last ingredient. Back to Senfew.
Whoa, that's the stuff. Well, now I think about it, you've got it all for me.
Yes, we do.
Right, let's get this potion sorted then. There we go. Now take this back to Cake Mix at the Stone Circle and we'll be fixed up and ready.
Even if it is not his correct name, back to Cake Mix we go, with a finished potion, so we can perform the ritual.
Gothics, Lord of Balance, hear us. Accept our sacrifice, Gothics. Witness our devotion.
Well, did it work?
I feel that our prayers have been answered.
Lightning strikes on the rock. Gothics works in mysterious ways. But that is quest completed. They said it couldn't be done, but here we stand with level 3 Herblore. There used to be some glitches to get level 2 Herblore, but I'm pretty sure they're all patched out by now. Back then, we didn't get any ingredients either, so I'll drop those. That didn't take long at all. So on to the next quest. Number 19, Lost City. But first, we have to tackle some skill requirements. 31 crafting and 36 wood cutting. We are quite a bit off from them, so no time to waste. Let's chop some trees first, right here in Raynor Village. There are many different trees around the bank, so we can save them for future use. Just takes a bit of time with our bronze hatchet. Interestingly, there used to be no woodcutting requirements for hatchets back then. As long as you had the right attack level, you could go at it with a rune hatchet from the start. You learn something new every day you open the wiki. And here's level 10, allowing us to upgrade to iron tools. In the current version, it would also give us oak trees already. Prior to an update in 2023, oak trees required 15 wood cutting. A lot of skill requirements were spread out over the years. I try my best to always check that I use this time appropriate level ranges. Anyway, here's now level 15 wood cutting and upgrading to oak trees. We don't deplete our every action, making this far more enjoyable. And to my big surprise while editing this, oak trees, in basically every other tree aside the normal ones, were only added in March of 2002. Oops, account ruined once again. So here I am hitting 30 and being happy that I can legally go to Willows, where I stay for just one more level, because I mixed up the crafting and woodcutting requirements. Here is a quick peek of the woods we've gathered so far. To get crafting up and running, we first head to a crafting shop in Alcarid to buy some tools. We have gotten quite a few cowhides during the combat training, and a thread and needle will turn them into some nice XP. And while we're here, some of the basic molds for jewelry will also come in handy in the future. First, we run some circles between the bank and the tanner to turn the cowhides to leather. And then it's time to turn them into armor. Just boots, gloves and chests were originally available, so we stick to those three. Level 28 from the leather, pretty good, and a couple of gems we've gotten along the way while we are at it. The last 3 levels we get from one of the OG crafting methods. Clay. But the clay rocks were apparently moved from south of Lumbridge to the barbarian village. No matter, around 8 inventories of clay should do it. It's about the same distance from a bank as the other spot. Let's see if we can finish this before the system update in an hour. In case you're wondering, I'm recording this at the end of March. If you're watching this video when it comes out, I won't be that much further ahead. Around 10 minutes later, and with a total of 140 clay, I think we've got enough crafting XP to get us to 31. Only need some water containers from the general store. The fountain outside is a great way to fill them. And just like that, we got a nice stack of soft clay. Now all that remains is to mold it into pie dishes and heat them in the forge. And that is 31 crafting. Only took around 40 minutes or so with the clay. And to quickly wrap it up, I'll chop some trees near the bank to hit 36 wood cutting. Now all requirements are checked for quest number 19, Lost City. A group of adventurers in the Lumbridge Swamp treats us with hostility, mocking our lack of magic levels. But the warrior isn't the sharpest tool in the shed, telling us of a secret city of Thunderdis, and to find it, we need to locate a leprechaun hiding in the trees. Far away from their camp, around 8 tiles or so, we find the lucky charm. To enter the city of Thunderdis, we need to go through a portal in a nearby shed but only while wielding a drum and staff, crafted from a special tree found only on the island of Entrana. Entrana, another newly added location, is a small island inhabited by some monks, where all kinds of weapons and armors are prohibited. But luckily, runes are not considered weapons. But with our current magic level, we can only cast the most basic airstrike. So after acquiring some magic gear and runes, it's back to our good old friends, the cows nearby Lumbridge, to train up a bit. Level 13 for Fire Strike should be good enough. Now let's set sail for Entrana. Surely I bring no ill intent, just some food and runes, not suspicious at all. In the back of the island is a cave system infested by zombies. These zombies have an interesting drop table, as they can give us bronze or iron hatchets. We need those to cut branches from a tree here. While in the current version, the hatchets from a 2-belt can be used, I do it as intended, by killing zombies until they give us a hatchet. Another change to the combat system. I couldn't find an exact date for this update, but apparently you can no longer cast spells without a mage weapon. Back then, a weapon was only used for autocasting and letting you save some runes. Oh dear, seems I have to use my bare hands after all. But we were lucky. One of the first kills dropped a bronze hatchet already. Let's see if you can do this. At the back of the cave is a Druid tree, guarded by a spirit. This would have been a very quick fight with magic, but let's see how it turns out with melee. And being an absolute genius, I forgot to eat while trying to prayer flick. That's the first death on the account. Wonderful. Back in the day, you just drop all your items on the ground and had to hurry back before anybody else picked them up. Currently, your items get sent to Death's office, where they can be reclaimed for money. I need those lobsters or we'll go hungry tonight. What? 900 coins? That's extortion. I cannot afford this. Actually too poor to even buy back our food. Spend it all on these useless runes. We'll get back to this. I want to finish this quest first. Back at it, with a new inventory, we get a bronze hatchet right away and an iron hatchet on the very next kill. This should make the fight much faster. I promise to eat now too. Took a majority of our food, but down she goes, giving us free access to the Druid tree. In old school Runescape, there are a couple of instances where getting an extra Druid branch is useful, so we'll stock up on them. Now we just pick up a knife in Lumbridge and cut the Druid branch into a staff and can finally enter the shed in the swamp. Welcome to Zondaris. And quest completed. This was the first part of a ferry quest line, which will be continued on exactly this day 4 years in the future. As for now, it only gives us access to a city, which is of very limited use to us, but at least it's pretty to look at. But enough lollygagging. We've got quests to do. That were only 2 of the 5 that released today. The next one starts right here beside Falador. Originally it was next to Tavali. A young boy kicked his ball over the fence of a creepy house and wants it back, giving us quest number 20, Witch's House. Breaking and entering is one of my favorite pastime activities. And storing your keys right beside your door is just asking for it. Ah, a private journal. Let's see what's going on here. Alright. Weird experiment locked in the shed. Boy regular kicks ball over the fence. Magnet-based lock to the backyard installed by Professor Ordenstein. Key to the shed stored in the fountain. Yep, all perfectly normal behavior here. First, into the basement we go to grab the magnet. The electric fence, however, hurts our bare hands, but a pair of leather gloves from a nearby chest should serve as an insulator. And that's a magnet. Back upstairs, we grab a piece of cheese from the table and drop it in front of a hole in the wall for a mouse to pick it up, allowing us to attach the magnet to the mouse and open the door, just like the diary told us. Now we just escape the witch's gaze, pick up the key from the fountain, and enter the shed. Ah, there's the ball. And that must be the experiment. Begun, foul beast. Ah, it transformed. Begun, foul beast. Huh, it transformed. Begun, foul beast. Huh, it transformed. Begun, foul beast. Finally. Now we grab the ball and make sure to not get spotted on the way out again. This witch is up to no good, just running laps all day long? That's very suspicious. Here you go, little guy, one colorful ball. And don't kick it over the fence again. Quest completed, and some Constitution XP to get us a level up. Nice. If you keep up that pace, we might finish all quests today. The next one starts not that far from here, in Camelot. Getting there the old-fashioned way without all that stuff to the east was only possible by taking a path over White Wolf Mountain. Hope I won't freeze in this weather. And this was it, one mountain passage completed. Won't be the last time we have to go through here, but now we've arrived in peaceful Catherby, a quaint fishing village that will serve as the new source for all fish we catch, for quite a while at least. And right next to it, we find Camelot Castle, with King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table inside. Very subtle reference. But as long as he's got a quest for us, I'm not complaining. And indeed he does. Merlin's Crystal is quest number 21. Where wizard, Merlin, was locked into a crystal through mysterious force and they are out of ideas on how to get him out again. Nothing we can't figure out. It's interesting to see how much information you actually can get from the dialogues. I've completed a majority of the quests by following guides, so I didn't pay too much attention to non-mandatory dialogues, but we were told pretty much everything we need to do. Most knights don't have much to say, but we are directed to the evil Morgan Le Fay in her stronghold to the south, and that they take shipments by boat, and Catherby might be a good place to start looking for a way in. And we also yoink some runes while we're at it. These things are expensive. In Catherby, a captain points at the exact crates that will be sent to the faraway stronghold. We hide in one of them and just wait for a bit, until we are sent right where we want to be, Morgan Le Fay's stronghold. We keep swarming with knights, and on the top floor we encounter her son, Mordred. Just as we are about to strike the final blow, Morgan intervenes, and in exchange for her son's life tells us how to free Merlin. A ritual on a magic symbol near Camelot has to be performed, requiring red bones and black candles. We need a binding spell for the spirit that appears in the legendary sword Excalibur to eventually smash the crystal. Easy enough. On the way back, we strike down a bet for the bones, and the candle maker in whose chest we were hiding in will make us a black candle in exchange for some wax. The wax we can get from the beehives to the west. With a slight dose of repellent, we can safely extract some wax and trade it in. 2 out of 4 requirements down. Morgan told us to speak with the Lady of the Lake by Teverley to get Excalibur. She's got a test for us in Port Surim to prove our pure intent. Alrighty. A mysterious beggar suddenly appearing out of thin air, asking for bread? Even if I were to play this quest for the first time, that's pretty clear. But unfortunately, we are completely out of coins to buy some bread. So I have to epically source some money from the nearby goblins first. Here you go, mysterious stranger. One hopefully fresh loaf of bread. What a surprise! This was a test? No way. Now we just need the spell. The Chaos Temple in Varrock seems like a good place to get such obscure knowledge. And indeed, engraved into the altar, we find an incantation. Now back to Camelot. This ominous magical sign in the garden looks like the perfect place for the ritual. Dropping the bones and lighting the candle causes the ghost to appear. By reciting the incantation, he grants us a wish, which we use to free Merlin. Or at least allows us to shatter the crystal with Excalibur. 1 freed up mage. Quest completed, and the first quest in the Camelot series. The follow-up of which will come later this year already. And this was all for today. The next quest is a bit of a longer one again, and we need a bit of prep work. One of the requirements unfortunately has become impossible with this account's rule sets, so I have to work around a bit. But this is something for the next episode, which won't be dropping next Monday unfortunately. I've worked through most of my pre-recorded footage and now need some time to gather new material for the upcoming episodes. So I will scale back to bi-weekly uploads. I hope to see you in 2 weeks. Have a great day. Bye.